Whew. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I think that was kind of a wild week. So, you know what? Let's see if we can figure out what happened together. Well, I think you guys will all agree that the data conclusively says that nothing makes sense anymore, and I have no idea what's happening. Be that as it may, I'm still going to take us through a week 3 recap here, and we'll see where everything's standing. Um, Now, seeing as the Eagles are only good enough now to apparently play for ties, I decided to don myself appropriately. To answer the questions that I know you'll inevitably have, no, this is not a clip-on bow tie, it's real. No, it is not tied well. And yes, it did take me like 20 minutes to figure out how to actually get this bad knot done. So that's out of the way. All right, now before we get to actual football things, we'll do our normal take care of the clerical business first. First thing is that there was a joke I had last week on the phone recorded version of this that I forgot to redo when I had to redo the whole recording on my computer. So I'm going to splice that in right now, even though it won't be nearly as funny, but I feel like we just need to document it for, posterity reasons. So here that is. I was going to get some condoms too, but yeah, they're all expired. So, all right, number two, apologize for the vertical intro on that if anybody's watching this on their PC. Um, I did the whole thing like that, not even thinking. I went to look and I was like, well, shoot, there's no way I'm re-recording all this crap. If there were any more reasons, add to the list of why I need a girlfriend or just any friends in general. It's so someone can help me record all this crap because it's getting annoying. And then finally, number three, this is a very serious issue. We here at my apartment studios pride ourselves in accurate reporting each and every time. Last week, while bashing on the Steelers, we accidentally exclaimed or made the point that they almost lost to a Jack Driscoll. It has since come to my attention that it is actually Jeff Driscoll is his correct name. We apologize for that. I've already gotten on my production team and my research team and told them to do better. And Mr. Driscoll, if you ever happen to see this video, we're both in Denver. I'll be happy to take you to a steakhouse that would seem subpar compared by comparison to what you normally spend based on your salary. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our top players of the week. Oh, this is going to be a good one. First off, quarterbacks. My boy Patty Mahomes finally came through, finally looking like that top pick that I had him at with 71 points last night. We'll talk on that a little bit later. And then the second best QB, of course, belonged to Steve at 65.7 points because apparently he's just going to throw like 80 touchdowns this year, and we're just all going to be cool with that. Running backs, I'm going to start off with Steve again with Kamara, who literally the only person on the New Orleans office offense, and the entire Packers defense can't tackle him. So that's great. And then the shocker of the week that nobody saw coming, except Jose, is Rex Burkhead, who scored 3 freaking touchdowns. And we'll talk about that more later. Wide receivers, here we go again. Jose, Tyler Lockett, because unfortunately for Arias, DK Metcalf doesn't know how to run into the end zone. And then a surprise, Justin Jefferson, rookie for the Vikings, whom the Eagles passed up on to take Rager, who's now injured, with 30.5 points. Tight ends, we got Jimmy Graham, there you go, Neil, with 24, and Tyler Croft with 18.4, which, for those of you who don't know, Tyler Croft went to high school with a bunch of us and is more successful than the rest of us will be combined ever in our lives at all. Both of them were on waivers. Graham just happens to play for the Bears, for Neil's team. Flexes, Nate had Eckler with 31.5 points, and Dave got 30 points out of James Robinson, looking like a hell of a pickup this year. Defense, the freaking Colts continue to torment me. Tom got 27 damn points out of the Colts defense. And then, brace yourselves, because this is true. I have checked this. Ryan had the second top defense, the Bucks, with 17, 19. I can't remember what I wrote. I think it's a 17. We'll figure out that. But either way, Ryan is on the board. Kickers were a crapshoot. Gostkowski, who missed about 10 kicks in the first game of the season, hit 3 50-yarders and some other crap and got 25 points. And then Mason Crosby got 16. They were both on waivers. The top-owned kicker goes to Ryan, so kudos on that, buddy. It doesn't matter, but kudos to that. So taking a look at our numbers now, Ryan and I are on the board, so there's nobody who hasn't had a top player yet, which isn't bad. Our bench percentage improved. 0% of these players were benched, top players. So that's good. We're getting better. Steve leads the way among us with 7 total top players. However, he still trails the waiver wire, which is at 10 bench players so far. And our waiver percentage did go up from 7% to 36% this week. So rough. Apparently none of us can evaluate talent. All right, let's get into the fun stuff now and go team by team. Now this is a bit of a historic moment here because Ryan's not last. The first one we're going to talk about is Nate. Oh boy, Nate. Now I know that this might you might enjoy this because I'm talking about you early, so you don't have to watch the rest of the video. But man, it's got to be a little bittersweet here. Hold on a second. ESPN website is being stupid like it always is, and is trying to hack my computer, I think. Even though I have notes, I want to pull it up anyway. Okay. All right, Nate, let's see. Man, well, you made the classic mistake of taking my advice last week and playing Minshew over Stafford. That wouldn't have quite won you the game, but it would have gotten you very close. You're still your wide receivers. You guys just aren't on the same page. You once again had fantastic scoring wide receivers who are just sitting on the bench, and you managed to lose to a team that benched Julio or played Julio, who didn't even play in the game. And actually, wait a second. I meant to get some of this. I'll be right back. All right. Well, Nate, in honor of the 116.7 points you had on your bench that could have easily won you the game, we're going to debut a new thing in this episode, the Cheese Fire Hat of Shame. I should have done this last week for Tom, but that's all right. This goes to you, buddy. You get to be the first one. Congrats. Yeah, Nate, I'm not really sure where you go from here. Mark Andrews might not be able to catch the ball, but hey, at least the Lions did something good. I don't know how. The Cardinals just sucked. But hey, the Lions managed to do something good. So there you go. You got that up on us, and which, is a disappointing bar to be at right now. That's where it is. So congrats, Nate. I should have put this on at the beginning because I kind of want to wear it longer. But this one's for you. Maybe. Oh, I meant to look at the matchups for next week, but something tells me you're going to be projected to lose anyway. So, good luck, bud. All right, moving on to number 2, and this is where we find Ryan. Ryan, I could say a lot of bad things here, but congrats, buddy. I would be sounding the alarm bells. We'd be celebrating. if you were here. You not only managed to win, but you won because you made a waiver claim. I mean, this is a historic moment. This goes down. This is just incredible. Um, was it a lucky win? Yeah, absolutely. Your defense and kicker combined for 33 points. But hey, it happened, and that's how it is. So good job, bud. Um, though you were also going up against the other top defense at 27, which is just a weird thing. But yeah, Edwards-Helaire, man, you squeak you out enough points last night to win. Um, I'm not even going to talk about the state your team's in. It doesn't matter. This year's basically a win for you just off that. So good job, bud. I'm hoping you can pull it off again because that was just that made my week more than me kicking Neil's ass. All right, third is Dave. Yeah, Dave, it's been just weird for you a little bit this year. You unfortunately got to be the victim of Steve's absolute nonsense this week. Steve's not good at this, but he's kicking our asses. Um, so there are some bright spots on your team though. Robinson is looking like it's only week 3. If you can get it together, Robinson is looking like he could be potentially a league winner if he can make it that far up. I saw Carson got hurt because the Cowboys are a bunch of fucking assholes. So that might be interesting. Might need to find a plug in for him. And I think we need to spend a minute here and just talk about Mike Evans in that game. He scored 14.2 points. It was good, very good score for a wide receiver. His stat line was 2 catches for 2 yards and 2 touchdowns. What the fuck is that? That's not a football stat. That's like what you get out of some stupid 4th string wide receiver who's just in there because God knows why. This is the top guy in the Tampa Bay offense. And that's his stat line. I mean, I can't complain about it. I just can't. That's just another one of those things that I just cannot understand about what's happening with football this year. I think Godwin might be hurt, so Mike Evans might see a boost there. Sanders is currently looking like the only one who knows how to play football on the Eagles, so that's good. Maybe get some points out of him. You might need to consider a pivot at quarterback next week. With the COVID stuff going on, the Titans and the Steelers, who knows if they're going to play, so keep an eye out for that. All right. Yeah, Dave, I think you're still in decent shape. I think you have potential to rise out of this. The same might not be able to be said for number 4, Arias. Rough day. Again, I can't totally blame you for this. When we get to Jose, we'll talk about all the crap he had here, but it's not entirely your fault. A good pickup with my name Jeff, scored 21 points, which is crazy. I don't think it was an impressive stat line in the slightest. No, 12 carries for 15 yards, and then 3 receptions for 54 yards. That's good. But as a running back, he did absolutely terrible, but he got touchdowns. So he paid off. McKinnon might be hurt, so who knows? He might be a plug and play for a while. All right, so I hate to tell you this, I can't take credit for this stat, but I think we need to bring it to your attention and just to the entire league's attention. We all saw Lamar struggle last night, and it's unfortunate because he's fun to watch. But through the first 3 weeks, Joe Burrow has been a better fantasy quarterback than Lamar. Now, question: am I saying you should drop Lamar for Burrows? Absolutely, I am. Do it right now before somebody else grabs Burrow. Yeah, you also got it wouldn't have mattered, but Metcalf getting the ball punched out on the 2-yard line because he was jogging while Tyler Lockett scored 3 touchdowns must have been a little hard to watch, so that can't be fun. It almost seems like you got a lot of hope resting on Le'Veon Bell coming back, which fair. Adam Gase might be fired by then, hopefully, and they'll actually get a coach who is decent. Literally anybody else who's watched more than 2 football games in their life could do better than him. So maybe there's some potential upside there, but yeah, I don't know, bud. It's looking like you might be in a bit of a hole. Might be tough to climb out of this one. We'll see what happens. All right, coming in 5th is Tom. Man, Tom, you had the distinct pleasure of being Ryan's first win, which is incredible. Really, I don't think it was any fault of your own here. It wasn't, but it's just amazing how that played out. The biggest question I have on your team is how the fuck Carson manages to actually score good points, because he's just not good. I love the guy, but he has just not been good, and it's been bad to watch. But he's still scoring decent points, so that's happening. Yeah, I can't blame you. Deontay Johnson got injured, which was rough, or he might have been able to pull that out. He probably would have gotten the 4 points he needed. Let's be honest. Ryan again got hella lucky on this. However, you did get absolutely carried by a defense, which was your highest scoring player outside of your quarterback. So, yeah, that's a little bit of cause for concern. There are a lot of zeros on your bench here, and as somebody who has injured people, I also have a lot of zeros on my bench. However, I don't have a player on my bench who tore his ACL 2 weeks ago and isn't going to play. So, bold move to hold on to Cortland Sutton. I don't think it's going to pay off. But hey man, you do whatever you do. So yeah, I don't know. Again, you might have some issues with teams not playing next week. Who knows what the Vikings are going to do? So Thielen might be out. So just keep some tabs on that and see what happens. All right, finally starting on the uptick on some of the winners here. In fourth, oh sorry, I said Tom was fifth. Tom was sixth. In fifth, Tom was fifth at the bottom. In actual fifth, we got Randall, who, man, good job, Randall. I appreciate you putting Nate down at 0-3. Good week. Good week. You even just rubbed in his face by starting a player who literally wasn't going to play in Julio Jones. You still have the strategy of rostering 2 kickers, which, yes, it's a thing that you're doing. I don't understand it. Though on the flip side of that, you picked up Myles Gaskin, which I think is a good pickup. As someone who's forced to start him in 2 other leagues, it seemed like a desperation play, but he's actually looking pretty good. Is he good at football? Not really, but he's like the only option there to score points. You also have 2 tight ends, which again, a bold move. I don't really understand why you still have Jared Cook. He did like decent week 1, and that's it. But hey, you do you. Like some of the other guys, I think you might have issues if the Steelers game gets postponed next week. But who knows? You got some good options there. Overall, not too bad. I think Jerick McKinnon got hurt, so that was a good 1-week play. I thought it was going to be longer, but might have to fill in there. But overall, I think you got good depth, aside from those 2 wasted positions. And I think you're poised to still do pretty well here. I wouldn't have any too many concerns if I was you. All right, moving on to 4th place. Now we're getting to the ones who are actually good. Is me. And when I say good, I mean absolutely incredibly lucky. If you guys take a look at the actual real standings, though I'm in 4th, I have the 9th most points scored, only above Ryan. So somehow I am benefiting to everybody playing down to me on the weeks that it happens. And in this case, getting buoyed by Mahomes getting 70 points. First 70-point player. Suck it, bitches. So yeah, that's got me a little worried, not gonna lie. I think my team's finally starting to play like it should, though. Derrick Henry looked like he knew how to run the football. Kenyon Drake still doesn't. So hopefully he'll figure that out soon, or else that's a hell of a wasted pick. I'm a little concerned that I wasted that pick on A.J. Brown, who might never play, even if the Titans ever play again. Who knows? I don't know what's going on there. I've got a lot of crappy running backs on my bench, too, so I'm kind of banking on those if I need it. But overall, I'm not too worried. Happy with where I'm at. I think my points are going to start ticking up here. Not to the Steve level, because I don't know how he did it, but he rigged it somehow. I don't know. But I think I'm in a good spot. And we can stay right on this matchup for number 3, which is Neil. Neil, I don't have too many comments on your team this week, on your fantasy team, but all I have to say is Big Dick Nick. It's about time. I saw some footage side by side of him and Trubisky running the exact same play, literally exact same. And man, Foles is just way better. He just knows how to throw a football. It must sting a little bit to know that you guys traded up for Trubisky when you could have had Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. And no, don't give me this bullcrap. Oh, we didn't know how good Mahomes was going to be. We thought Trubisky would be okay. Mahomes threw for 700 yards in a college game. Trubisky got stripped by the referee when he tried to run. They're not the same, and they weren't coming out. So there's that, bud. The one thing I did notice when I was looking for your team, it seems like a lot of variance. You've got a lot of guys on your bench who can score good points on the weeks that they score good points. But other weeks they'll score like 0 to 5. CeeDee Lamb, Lazard, Will Fuller, all those guys are great options when they go off, but the question is when are you going to play them? If you can figure it out, I think you'll do fine. But if not, it could get to be pretty frustrating as you're trying to chase the points and never getting rewarded. Hopefully, Josh Jacobs picks it up a little bit. He almost screwed me over in another league, but thankfully Lamar was bad. So yeah, hopefully he picks it up for you a little bit, and who knows, you might have something good. I do believe David Montgomery is in classic midseason form. Yeah, he had like less than 4 yards per carry this week. So there you go. The Bears are back, baby. 3-0, a juggernaut. It's not a illusion. It's for real. Okay. All right. Coming into the top two here, and this is where I struggled to write my words and to figure out what I was going to say about this. So let's start with Jose. Jose, I'm talking to you right now. You to me. Just you can tell me, do you have a sports almanac from Back to the Future? Because there is no fucking possible reason why you would have picked up and started Rex Burkhead and thinking that was a good play and he managed to get 3 freaking touchdowns. Like I will pay good money. We can all be rich here if this is the case. Like just let me know. I want in on this no matter what the cost. He also had Lockett with 3 TDs. So between 2 players, he had 6 TDs, which was, I think, more than my entire team had. And actually, probably most teams had. So that was ugly. Yeah, I have no words for this. It doesn't make sense. The only thing that looks bad on your team, well, one, you're still rostering 3 tight ends, which is, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing that you're doing. I don't know why, but it's a thing. And Chris Godwin might be hurt, so that could be bad. Good for Dave, bad for you. But yeah, man, apparently it doesn't. Like we found out before, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Apparently, you have the magic crystal ball to figure this out. So I'm gonna let you do you, and you're probably gonna. Whenever I play you, you're probably gonna beat me by about 400 points. I knew this was coming, but I still didn't want to do it. All right. Leading the league again for the 3rd week in a row is Steve. Now, I think this was Steve's worst week. It was. He only got 160 points. But he still managed to win. Dave, we're really pulling for you, but it just didn't happen. Much like Jason Garrett when he was the head coach of the Cowboys, Steve is not good at this, but he's getting bailed out by high-end talent. Wilson and Kamara scored well over half of his points, and then only one other person even got in double digits. He even started John Brown, who literally got 0, who did not play in the game, and he still won just fine. I don't know how this is happening. I don't like it. I mean, Wilson is on pace to throw approximately 70-something touchdowns this year, which he's probably going to do, especially now that Carson's hurt. He's probably going to throw like 8 this game. So I don't know what we do to stop Steve. If Mixon ever gets into the form that he can be, we're going to be in trouble. We've seen Waller can go off for 20-some points. And this was with Devontae Adams injured too, so that's great. I think he got some injuries on the bench though. I think Ruggs is hurt. I think Goddard's hurt. Yeah, you had a total of 9.3 bench points, which is fairly amazing. Now you also, this is a strategy I have never seen before, and it's kind of the double here. Not only do you have an empty IR slot, which a lot of people do because you guys are dumb and don't know how to use the spots you're given, but also you just have an empty bench spot. You just said, fuck it, I don't even care. I'm better than all of you. I don't need to stash anybody else with potential upside. So far that's looked like it's working. So I can't really talk shit on it, but it's something I've never seen before. So yes, I don't know. I can't explain the things that are happening this year with anything in football. I spend way too much of my time trying to figure this shit out, and it all doesn't make sense. So we're just gonna go with it. Well, all right, guys, that's where we are, week 3. Um, no need to get down yet for some of you guys who suck, or are doing better than who should be sucking like me. Still got a lot of season to go if we end up getting to play the whole season. Um, and hopefully things can do anything. Just a few updates, notices, whatever you want to call it. Waivers run again on Wednesday. Get your waiver claims in. Um, as of this morning, the Vikings had, I think, 5 or 6 positive COVID cases. So they shut down their team facility, as did the Vikings, who they played last week. This could have potential ramifications on some of the matchups this week. The Vikings play the Texans, and the Titans play the Steelers. So if you have any players in those teams, which I do, of course, um, look into you maybe potentially shuffling last minute there if those games are canceled. Nobody really knows what's going to happen yet, but that's on the just keep an eye out for that. Other than that, close it out. Good luck to you guys this week. Good luck to your real teams. Uh, the Eagles have a slate of like the 49ers, Ravens, and Steelers, maybe not necessarily in that order in their next 3 games. So we're going to be 0-5, 0-5-1 soon, and I got to start coming up with more sad intros, though I don't know how much more sad I can be. So that'll be on my plate to figure out. Cheers, boys. As always, fuck you, Spanos.